Hey everybody, this is Rachel. Thanks for joining me today. Welcome to all of my new subscribers. I am so excited that Amanda sent you guys over, and so very grateful. So thanks for subscribing and coming to check out this video today. So Amanda inspired me to make an ephemera holder, and so I decided to give it a try. I haven't made one of these before. I know tons of people are making them right now, but I decided I would give it a try. So this is very, very large. This is just the cover. I made this out of Amazon envelope packaging, you know, the kind that crinkles, makes lots of fun noises. This is one of those. So, I mean, you don't have to use something this big. Of course, you can choose any kind of envelope you would like. It doesn't even have to be an envelope, actually. So, this measures 14 by about 17 and 5/8. So it is a very big envelope. And what I did was I inked all the way around the perimeter, and then I added some book page that I had inked with vintage photo. I just tore book pages. I'm going to show you here. So I had just made little strips like this, and I glued them down all around the perimeter, and I used this Yoo-hoo, Ooh-hoo glue stick, whatever, however you say this. I love this stuff. This stuff really, it works very well. And I don't know how you pronounce this, but Yoo-hoo, Ooh-hoo, or uh-huh. I like that one. That's my personal favorite. Uh-huh. So basically I put the glue stick all over the back of the book page and then adhered that all down. Then I got strips of coffee dyed paper like this one, and I distressed the edges with my tearing ruler, and then I inked it with vintage photo. This is the tearing ruler that I have, made by Plaid. I can't remember where I got this. I've had it for years. It's very sturdy. Probably Michael's a long time ago. So then I placed those down, leaving just a tiny bit of the book page showing. And then let me think here. I can't remember. Then I adhered this fabric. I've had this fabric for a very long time. I had probably a good enough section of it left so that I could adhere it to both. This is the inside of the envelope, and on the inside you adhere your fabric right side up, just like this. The back side, you adhere the fabric upside down. That way, when you fold it, everything will be right side up on the flaps. So, yeah. Sorry. So so after I sewed around the perimeter, I did a couple of lines of stitching. They're kind of wacky. not straight, because they cannot sew straight to save my life. So I just sew kind of wacky. And I cut the fabric really kind of jaggedy, and then stitched just inside the border of the fabric because I wanted the edge to fray, kind of like what this is doing right here. I think that'll look cute and chatty. Then I did this crazy stitching lines all over the fabric. For one, that really adheres the fabric to the envelope, and then there's no shifting of the fabric, which I really like. I did use glue stick, and I just put a little bit of glue stick around the perimeter, not too close to the edge, just to hold the fabric in place while I stitched. And then so yeah, I just put it in my sewing machine. I don't have a fancy sewing machine. I don't have any special kind of needle on it or anything. I just put it in there and just turned my envelope around like this and just sewed. So I don't know what you call that technique. I call it crazy wackadoodle stitching. So that's what I did for the outside. Now, the envelope is very easy to fold, maneuver wherever you like. I'm not sure. I think it has something to do with the inside of the envelope, the packing material. Maybe it's adhered in strips or something like that, but it's very easy to just make score marks wherever you want them. So this is how I made the gusset for this bottom flap, and I did the same thing for the top. Then I started to put together envelopes. I'm gonna set this aside. I know this looks kind of funny. I have these recycled brown envelopes from Amazon. That is the brand name. I got a pack of 500, so I have a lot of envelopes to use. And so what I did, I think I put 10 together. So what I did was I sealed them all, and then I just cut a little sliver off the top of each one to open them back up. I chose to keep the flap on there and just close it because it's just another layer of paper, and it makes it a little more sturdy. So then after I did all of that, I flipped them over and I put wet glue from about here to here down and here to here, just like this, like a rectangle of glue, like that. And then I layered the next envelope on top, and I repeated that until I had all of my envelopes stuck together. I think this is 10 of them. And then, so that is what this is right here, these envelopes right here. I was in the process of adhering some coffee dyed tabs, and so then this is all attached. See how wide it opens? I love it. So the width of my cover is very wide. I didn't want to have blank space on either side, so I slid this over, and just so happens that this portion right here is wide enough for me to put another section of envelopes. So what I did for this side was I took 5 of these envelopes, I sealed them, and then I folded them in half, and then I cut both sides, just a tiny sliver off the top so I could reopen the envelopes, and then I stuck these together. And you can see here, when I folded the envelope in half, I stuck the two sides together. So I just ran a bead of glue up the middle, folded in half, and then secured it. And then I did that too. I put glue right here down the center to attach the rest of them. So this is 5 envelopes attached together, which makes so many more pockets. Yay! Then, because these envelopes are pretty flimsy, I just wrapped a piece of craft cardstock around the whole section, like a book cover. And then I adhered all of the edges, everything of this cardstock to this top envelope, and then when it went around to the back side, I attached this last envelope to the cardstock. It makes it a little more substantial. So when I placed this in my cover, like so, and then I put the lid, the top over, I noticed that first you can see there was a quite a bit of area here left. So I put in another envelope, and this one I just took 3 pieces of 11 by 17 inch copy paper, and I chose that big size because I wanted it to cover the width of my cover. And it's thin paper, so I sewed 3 pieces of paper together. I sewed around. I did put a little bit of, like, you know, the glue stick on there so that they would stay in place, and then I sewed around the perimeter of it, and then I inked the edges again with the vintage photo, and then I folded it in half so it made this big pocket like this, and then I added hinges on the side. So this will be a nice wide pocket for longer strips of paper, maybe for instance like this. So what I did with these paper strips is I also added a strip here so that when I open the envelope I would see that. Looks nicer to me. And then I attached a thin piece of chipboard to the back side of the white pocket, just to make it again more substantial. And then I glued them all together. So I put wet glue all over the back of the envelopes, all the way up to the edges. I completely covered the back of the envelopes, and then attached it to my white piece. And then I did the same thing with this one, and then I set it aside, let it dry, and then I started to add the tabs. And these tabs are from the Stampin' Up! Punch. Looks like that. I know lots of you have them. Very popular very popular tab punch. And I just punched those from some of my coffee dyed paper. And what I did is I have this stack of 6x6 paper. Years. I've had this paper for years, scrapbook paper. They originally were, it's a 12 by 12 pad that I cut into 6x6, and then I coffee dyed them, and I thought I would use them like this, but yeah, that was so long ago, and I know I'm not going to use them this way, so I just took these and punched a bunch of tabs. And then I also used my envelope punch board and makes these cute little envelopes. So I did 4 of them. You just fold them up. The pattern paper will be toward the inside, and if I don't like it, I can cover that. And these are 3x4, I believe. So out of 6x6 paper, you can make 3x4. envelopes, or you can also make I think 3x3 envelopes. So anyways, don't throw away your paper. You may use it like 9 years later. No, I'm just joking. So then what I'm gonna do is attach this whole thing to the back cover. I haven't decided how I'm going to decorate this yet. I know at some point I want to put some trims on the cover, make it a little, you know, shabby chicy. But I'm not sure what I want to put on the outsides of this, if anything, if I'm going to decorate this at all. And then I will add a closure, and I haven't figured out what kind of closure I want yet. So when I come back, I will share with you, once I've figured out what I'm going to do on the rest of this, I will share with you how that came about. So I will tell you though, I'm going to put wet glue, probably Fabri-Tac, across the whole first envelope. I'm going to all over, and I'm going to adhere it to my top, my bottom flap, so that when you open your ephemera holder, these will be attached in the front like this. So when you open it, it'll open wide for you automatically. And then this, the back side of this, I'm going to glue to the base. So again, when you open it up, it'll just go like an accordion. So yeah, I'm excited. I haven't made one of these, and you know, I have a ton of the Amazon packaging envelopes, and you know, at some point I have to use them. I can't just keep collecting them. So hopefully that maybe you learned a couple things, or this inspires you to make your own. This was really fun. I mean, it was really fun to put together and do all this crazy stitching, and I can't wait till it's done. And then I will be back to show you that when it's done. Have an awesome day. Thanks so much for visiting. Bye.